In this video, we're going to be talking about how you can expand your loop pedal like a Boss RC-5 or RC-500 with one of these. Hey guys, it's JP here, welcome to the channel. If you've never been here before and you want to learn all about music tech and looping, then start now by clicking the subscribe button, hit that bell, and you won't miss anything. The Boss brought out two new loopers at the end of 2020, the Boss RC-500 and the RC-5. Now these are fantastic loopers and they've got a new button on the RC-500 and we've got one pedal button on the RC-5. Now if you're familiar with these, you'll notice that there is actually an external pedal control option for both of them. There's one there and there's one on this side for the RC-5. And this is so you can actually plug in an external foot switch. So Boss brought out the FS-5, which is a foot pedal, the FS-6, and this is their latest one, which is the FS-7, which is two foot switches in a really slim design in the size of one. If you've got something like an FS-5, an FS-6 or an FS-7, what they do is they expand functionality on something like this. If you've got literally one pedal, this now gives you three pedals. Now you can still use these with the older loopers, but with the RC-5 and 500, you can dictate what these do per memory. So say for example, you're on memory number 5, you've given it a track name, and this is your loop effects button. On memory number 6, this is actually your rhythm start and stop. So today I'm going to take you through how this works both on the RC-5 and the RC-500, and also show you how you can play around with it on an RC-30. So when connecting something like an FS-7 to an RC-5 or an RC-500, you need to make sure we've got the right settings on something like this. So if you can have an FS-5, that's going to be in control number 1, and then an FS-6 you can actually do control 1 and control 2, and then this becomes control 1 and control 2 as well. So here what you can see is the polarity and the mode. Now it actually gives us a nice little indication here, but what we need to do is we need to make sure that the polarity is set to number 1, and now also we need to make sure that the mode is momentary, not latch. The great thing with the RC-5, it actually says stop stroke memory shift, and what that means is these two buttons. So this would be stop and this would be memory shift, as in memory up. Now to plug in a foot switch, you have a couple of options. So with the FS-7, we've got these on the back, starting with DC in. Now the power is just so you can light up these little LEDs. Now the FS-6 and 7 are meant to be used with lots of different pedals, delay pedals, loopers. So that's why there are two different inputs. You've got input A and input B. So a couple of different pedals have things like different controls. So you've got control 1 and control 2. But as we've only got one input here, then this is for a TRS cable to go in. So a normal cable, normal jack cable will go into both of these. But this one will also take a TRS. So you can see there it says A and B. And what you can do is you can use a TRS to go straight into here. Now this is my little makeshift TRS cable that I've got. I've actually taken it from one of my microphones. So it's a TRS to TRS mini jack, and I've just got some adapters that go into it. The reason why I use these is because they're really, really small and they're quite flexible. So what I'm going to do is plug this one into here. That's the AB. And then we plug this one into the top, which is just here. This nice little power splitter comes in the box with the FS-7, which is really useful. You just plug that bit into the main power and plug these two in together. So let's do that now. Now remember with the loopers, they don't actually power on even if you've got the plug plugged in. You need to plug an output in to turn it on. So as we plug our output in, it will turn on. And we're on memory number 1. Now, if you want to keep it as stop and memory shift, that's absolutely fine. But if you want to change what this does, you can do that on this and on this one. So we're going to change it over to something completely different. Now, I've just turned the camera down a little bit just so you can see what I'm doing. So we're actually going to go into memory number 1, just so you can see this LCD display. We're going to go into setup. We're going to scroll across 1 until we get to control, and then we're going to click it. Now, pedal function is this pedal right here, and that is record, play, stop, and clear. When we go across 1, control number 1's function is stop, and that is the bottom one right here. And then control number 2 is this one, which is memory increase. So if I was to get out of here for a second, just press this, you can see it's increasing the memory every time I press it. And if I was to record something real quick, and I press this button, it stops it. And that's it, done. So to change the different settings on this, let's go back in, setup, control, click. We're going to leave that one the way it is. So control number 1 is track stop, which is this one. And if you click it, you can go through and there are absolutely loads you can do. So I can say record play, I can say put it exactly the same as that one if I wanted to, but I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to do something a little bit different. So we're going to actually control the rhythm section, so the actual drum beat that comes on, and this will be play and stop. For control number 2, what we're going to do is we're going to change that over so we can change the speed of the rhythm, and we're going to make that tap tempo. So we can actually move across, and let's find that. There it is, tap tempo there. So now what we've got is we've got the starting and stopping of the rhythm here without me having to click this button or bend down. And this is the tempo. So what we can do is we can just start the rhythm. See the way that goes green? I can stop it. Now, if you combine this with before loops, so when you press this, it doesn't stop the rhythm, this is really powerful. So we can have this as the rhythm functions. I can change the tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can stop it independently. But it depends on how you use your looper. What I would suggest you do is go into setup, scroll across over to control, and then go across one and just go through all of these. You might want track reverse on there. So as you record something, you can press one button and it instantly reverses to create some really cool loops. You might want access to undo redo really quickly. That's another option. Or you might just want to clear the track straight away without having to hold this down for 2 seconds, which does play the track, saving yourself and having to mute the track every time you want to clear it. Now, on the RC-500, it is slightly different. When you've got this in, again, you've got 2 extra buttons and that's fine. We've already got a track select to move between track 1 and track 2, but it depends on, again, how you're going to use this. You can set this per memory, or you can set it for the whole system. So we're going to go into memory and we're going to scroll across one. You'll notice instead of control, this now says preference. If we click into this, we can change what these do either for the whole system or we can change it per memory. So pedal 1, pedal 2, pedal 3. So we've got those, and then we've got control 1 and we've got control 2. And then we've also got an expression pedal as well. So you can actually have multiple pedals clicked in. But for this example, what we're going to do is we're going to leave it as system, but you can set it per memory. So say on memory 1, you've actually got these for one thing, but then in another memory, you've got it for something completely different. So now we need to go into memory and then scroll across until we find control. Remember, on my one right now, it's per system. So if I change this, it's going to change on every memory. But if we go in, it's exactly the same as this, except we've got more pedals. So we've got pedal 1, pedal 2, and pedal 3. And then we've got control 1, control 2, and you've also got expression pedal, or what an expression pedal would do if you had one plugged in instead of this. So there's pedal 1, there's pedal 2, there's pedal 3, and that's what they do across the board. And then we've got control 1, so, and then we've also got control 2. Now I've actually got this set up in exactly the same way. So the rhythm is play stop and the control 2 is tap tempo. Now what you will find when you scroll through these is, of course, because we've got 2 tracks, you've got options for track 1, track 2 or current track. So if I scroll all the way to the beginning, you'll see there, you see T1, well you see off actually, there's the first one, but then if you go to T1, then there's all the track 1 options. Then you'll go over to T2, which is the track 2 options, or you'll have current. So whatever one you've selected, it can do that. So if you say I want to undo redo, but just the current, I just want a current stop, or I just want a current undo redo, for example, there you go. So whichever one I'm on, it'll undo redo, but I'm on track 2 right now, if that makes sense. So it's just a little bit more than the RC-5. It's got a couple more features because we've got 2 tracks to play with. One of the other features, because it's got multiple tracks, is you've got a couple of things here. So we've got track 1 effects, track 2 effects, and then you've also got all start. So you can actually start both tracks at the same time. But the idea is exactly the same. You've got 2 extra pedals to do with whatever you like. So connecting a FS-7 to here, again using TRS, so we've got it one cable plugged in, does a couple of different things. Now you can't change what this does, but it really does help if you've got one of these and you want to expand the functionality with this. So first of all, if we use A and we just click A, what that does is it turns on the loop effects, turns on and off the loop effects. B, if you click it, will change tracks for you. And this is one of the things that you want to do really, really quickly and is a bit of a pain when you're just using this on its own. So this really, really is useful, certainly if you want to get tracks and loops down really quick. Now, if you hold both of them down together, have a look at loop effects. What it does, you just give it a click, and what that does is it changes which loop effects you're using. Finally, if you hold one of them down, let's hold A down, and what that'll do is it'll decrease the memory number that you're using. And if you hold B down, it will increase the memory number that you're using. Again, these can't be changed into different things like you can with the new loopers, but it's a real advantage, certainly being able to instantly change tracks as opposed to holding down this one for 2 seconds. So there we go, guys, external foot switches, the FS-5, 6 and 7 by Boss. Really, really useful and expand the functionality of your looper. If you have found the content of this video useful, then please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me and it helps the channel grow. If you want to support the channel a little bit further, there's now 2 ways you can do that. One is buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. I've been doing that for a little while now, and for those who have bought me a coffee, thank you very much. It keeps this channel going. The second way on YouTube to support me is my membership. You may see a join button next door to the subscribe button. For £2.99 a month, what you're going to get access to is the videos the second I put them on YouTube, not the date I release them. You're going to get access to them early. Now for now, that's the only perk I've put up there, but I am going to start releasing new perks in 2021. So if you have seen a couple of my videos, you like the channel, you want to support me a bit further, have a look at the YouTube membership. All the links where to pick up an FS-7, an RC-5, an RC-500, buymeacoffee.com, buy one of these t-shirts, they're all in the description box below. And if you do have any comments or questions, please drop me a line in the comment section below. I do try to go through as many as I can and answer them as quickly as I can as well. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.